Last weekend, we went to the Rock with a business-like attitude. We started at the front, stayed there, nursed our tires all race long, didn't have a caution all race long. We survived a couple of pit stops, we survived a scare from Tim Taylor, and we eventually just cruised to a win. Felt good. And now we look at the points. It's as close as it's been at the top in a long time. We got 6 drivers within 35 points. Neil Armstrong making moves. He's kind of lurking out of nowhere. We see the usual Michael Jackson and Steve Jobs up there. Andy Warhol now sitting in the pervert seat, and I think he actually was a pervert in real life, but here we go. Let's get ready for the season to get turned on its head. Who knows what's going to happen here? It's Talladega. All bets are off. Okay, here we go. 5 races to go in our season. Like I said, the points are tight. We have Andy Van Slyke and Prince on the front row here. They were really sucking the big one at Rockingham. We're starting P40. And looks like we already lost Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol dropped off the pack already. That's what he gets for being a pervert. Yeah, it's already showing a tire issue for Andy Warhol. I would restart the race if he was in the points race. If he was in the battle, I would restart the race, but he's a pervert. So we can't. We're not going to restart the race. So we need to hook up with Jack Burton here. I have all the cars, all the big drivers we have to watch. I have dashes on their names in the standings, except for Neil Armstrong. I forgot to put Neil Armstrong, so we'll just have to remember Neil Armstrong. It's pretty easy to do. We're going into this with a business-like approach, just like Rockingham. Already setting up our pit stop. The whole season comes down to this. The last month of my life, month and a half, comes down to pretty much what happens here. Of course, we have 4 more races after this, but I've been really talking up Talladega as the big season changer down the stretch, and I just hope it's true, and I don't look like an ass clown.
Clear.
Wayne Campbell, I don't like that move, Jack. I am not 100% comfortable back here, though. I wouldn't mind getting a little bit into the pack.
Clear.
Of course, we're susceptible to wrecks back here, but also we're susceptible to just getting flung off the pack like a something. Couldn't think of an analogy there. There's DB Cooper. We just got a lot of big names in the field. Who knows where they're going to end up? I won't be giving a play-by-play on who's leading every lap because it's going to change every lap. Speaking of which, let's make sure we do get out in front and lead a lap here. So it's a free bonus point, really. My name's Adam. Thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for checking out the season. Thanks for all the likes, views, comments, and subscriptions. When we get to the lead, and things settle down, I'll talk about some things. We got Gus Spring ahead of us. Rosie the Riveter behind us. Damn shame about her. I mean, she started off the season well. She won at Rockingham, right? And then she won at Martinsville. And I'll tell you what, as as the second half of the season has worn on,
Still there.
it's really proving how rare it's going to end up being that we had 14 different AI winners in a row in that first half of the season, because since then we've had multiple winners. I mean, we've had Rosie the Riveter now win twice this season. We've had Mona Lisa Vito win 3 times. We've had Tim Taylor win twice.
Still there.
I think I'm missing. Am I missing one? I'm not sure. We've won twice. Martha Stewart has a win. Randy Marsh up there in the 7 car from South Park has a win. This is Al Bundy in the 94. Amelia Earhart has a win. The Spice Girls were up in front of us. They don't have a win. Let's remember, like I said, business-like approach. We got to remember our pit stall is on just as soon as we enter pit road. Martha Stewart won at North Wilkesboro, and we'll be going to North Wilkesboro in a few races. We got Kansas next, then Texas, North Wilkesboro, and then 1980s Atlanta. We'll go past Steve Jobs here in the 84. We'll see if he can make his way to the front. He's not out of it. He's not out of this Heinz Packet battle yet. We'll try to keep an eye on Stay Puffed. He is the top dog right now. Has been for a while. I went and looked at some of the old races from this season, and Stay Puffed has just been. He's been the mayor of the top 10 since like the single-digit races, like race 6 or 7. He was in the top 10, and he's been there all season long. Just a performance for the ages, I think. Here's Ray Finkel diving down in front of us. He is a master of restrictor plate tracks. He won the Daytona 500. But then I forget what he's done in the other restrictor plate races. So he might not be the master. He might have just gotten lucky at Daytona. I don't know. It's all a crapshoot anyway. Andy Van Slyke up here. Very disappointed in his performance this season. Even though he's been in the pervert seat a couple times, and he's been I think he was in the top 10 earlier in the season, but the son of a bitch doesn't have a top 5 finish this season. Him and Velma Dinkley are the only 2 and I meant this was a storyline 5, 6, 7 races ago. Hell, I remember mentioning that at the halfway mark Daytona race, looking at stats, that they didn't have a top 5, him and Velma Dinkley, and they still don't. And we'll keep an eye on the DNF situation, because Michael Jackson was up there in the 72. He's popping up in our rear view now. He doesn't have a DNF this season. Steve Jobs doesn't have a DNF this season. There's about 6 other cars that don't have a DNF this season. We have frickin' 5 of them. And we'll see how this points championship shape, how this ends up going, because I have a feeling it'll be easier to win championships for us with the even field, flip the grid every race kind of season. So if we do win the championship, I want to give us a handicap going forward. And I want to factor in our 5 DNFs somehow. maybe 10 points of DNF or something. Or I'll excuse 2 of them. I'll say, yeah, 2 of them, that's a racing deal. But 3 of them shouldn't have happened. And if we want to win championships in seasons going forward, we can't have 5 DNFs. Basically, I'm saying 2 would be the maximum. But, as I mentioned a few times, how the flip the grid point system works, sometimes a DNF doesn't really matter because you're finishing, say you DNF, we DNF'd at Charlotte and finished 28th. So does that really count as a DNF? I don't know.
You're on the bottom, 3 wide. Hold your line. Car out back.
But yeah, I think I mentioned that Dunder Mifflin has signed on for the rest of the season for Michael Scott. I was gonna have him driving a Johnny Benson-esque like all white Michael Scott Paper Company car. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I mentioned this in Rockingham. Not sure. Alright, we started near the back of the pack here. We're working our way up to the front. We have Neil Armstrong up here ahead of Mr. Rogers in the 21. Neil Armstrong started with us near the back. So the Eagle has landed at the front of the pack. We got Super Dave Osborne here. Let's not forget about him in the top 10 points race. There's a couple cars that we never even talk about. I'm always just saying, "Oh, look out for Super Dave," and then that's the end of the conversation. Because he's not really contending for wins. He almost got a win at Nashville, which is, you know, looking back down the stretch here, that was such a that whole race to me is just like a haze. It's just a very ominous feeling track. And of course we DNF'd there. But yeah, I was talking about Andy Van Slyke earlier. Very disappointing because he's, you know, I'm from Pittsburgh. He has the Pittsburgh colors here. And I was wanting him to be the top dog, but he's just been ass. But not really ass. Just not one of the elites. But then again, all these cars, when I thought of them and then came up with the paint schemes, I'm like, oh, this will be funny, or this, you know, this will be fun. This will be a fun car to make, or it'll be fun to see it on the track. So they all have a special place in my heart. Especially Lily. Alright, we're going to let Super Dave cut down here. Damn shame we lost to Andy Warhol. That pretty much cemented his you know, he was a long shot, I think, for the Heinz packet. It's pretty much a done deal that he's not going to win it now. But then again, maybe not, because we flipped the grid every race, and who knows how Talladega is going to end up. Because he just had a top 2 finish. What a bummer for him too. I remember I put up that graphic that he had. Oh, here comes Stay Puffed. Got the big marshmallow hood in our rear view. He's all business back there. Our current points leader. Yeah, we'll go to the high side for a while here. Got about 10 laps until pit stops. Tobias Funke from Arrested Development right there. We have Forrest Gump getting wild down there. And the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man wants to dance. He wants to go 3 wide. Just a fearless move by the current current king of the series. Just ate Jack Burton's lunch for him. Oh, they're going 3 wide. Let's be careful here. Let's not be stupid. Stay Puft's waving me on. Let's make sure Cameron Fry doesn't sneak in there. We'll slow him down. Ooh, sometimes when I'm following that car on the high side, I forget to actually straighten the car out coming out of 2. Glad we didn't hit the wall there. I'm just looking for 3 wide situations here in front of us and anticipating a wreck if I see it happening. We got more action up in front of us. Guy Fieri cutting to the middle up there. Lily might try to get under Happy Gilmore, but she doesn't. It's Prince Akeem up here in the 27 McDowell's. Yeah, I see some flashing on the cars here and there in the rear view. About right here on the backstretch it happens. Or I guess not. I guess it's just randomly happening now. I don't know. It's Velma Dinkley in the 8 from Scooby-Doo. But yeah, calling out some of these cars because we're down. We're getting down to it here, and it's going to be the last time. These final 5 races, it's going to be the last time we see a lot of these cars. But I do have a grand plan of taking the top 10 drivers from 4 consecutive seasons and then running a Legends series of some kind. So that means I have to come up with 40, 80, I have to come up with 160 fictional drivers for 4 different series. That's the big plan going forward. We can do it. We're already a quarter of the way there with these 40 cars.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
I think I mentioned Oscar the Grouch is fielding a team in our next season. Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. Oh, we got Rosie the Riveter and Rosa Parks. They went somewhere. Somebody's wrecking. Somebody's wrecking somewhere. I think Rosa Parks is down on the apron like Dale Jr. Bottom of the racetrack, Ned. He's on the apron of the racetrack, Ned. I think we lost Rosie the Riveter somewhere. I saw a car moving just quickly left to right in my rear view. And that's a weird line they're running here. Let's be careful. Let's look for some tire marks. Not seeing. There we go. Bunch of tire marks there in the infield. All right, I'm comfortable. I'm at peace with everything right now. We may be in a 4 wide situation here. Let's be careful. Prince is just being impatient. Don't look like we have pitters yet. Oh, I hit the apron. We got to stay down. Okay, stay off of Ray Finkel. No problem. I'm guessing that Rosie the River is on pit road. She must have taken on some damage. This is moderate damage, by the way. Just because I don't want a wounded car really messing up the field. Our strategy is to pit the first time. The first group of cars that we see pitting, we're going in, Jack. I'm just looking for any weird moves from the AI that indicate a pit stop happening. Yeah, I was before Rosie the Riveter and Rosa Parks interrupted me. Yeah, we have Oscar the Grouch, Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, Dwight Schrute, who's going to be in the next season. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, maybe. He's still on the fence. No pit indications yet. Maybe getting them next time by. I'm not 100% sure. Oh boy, there's Rosie the Riveter coming back onto the track. We'll see what kind of car she has going forward. I mean, that could have happened right in front of us. It happened right behind us to where I could clearly see what was going on with them, for the most part. I just saw the entire side of Rosa Parks' car, and I was like, you're not supposed to see that. Yeah, the Beach Boys have signed on for that next season. And it looks like it's going to be trucks. It's going to be the 2015 Truck Series mod. Because you can, I found it to where they run Cup physics. So we'll be running them like they're Cup cars. That's what I want. I mean, you don't want slower laps, you know. But some testing there will be involved. So I want to see if the actual chassis length is longer than the Cup cars, which would mean just different things. Like maybe some tracks will race differently because of that. Anyway, I was expecting pit stops on that lap, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see them here now. Forrest Gump's had a brutal season. He's been in the bottom 10, bottom 8 drivers for most of the season. Here's some engines. I guess not. I guess we're not pitting yet. Lap 28 sounds about right. Yeah, 28 and then 56. Yeah, 28's the number. Something tells me 28 and 56 are the pit windows. Who knows? Maybe cautions are on. I don't know what happened with Rosie and Rosa, but it didn't bring out a caution. Can't let you under us, Al Bundy, because we're gonna get down onto pit road here. Here we we go.
On the bottom, 3 wide, outside. Clear outside. Limit 55. Keep it under 3,500 in seconds. We'll give you 1.5 cans of
I forgot we were at this stall until later. Till I didn't remember it until I had to remember it.
55. Keep it under
But we're all right.
3,500 in seconds.
I was tiptoeing a bunch on pit road earlier this season, but now we're all business. Maintaining decent pit road speed nowadays. We came in with Gus Fring. Pretty much in this same exact formation.
Okay, you're clear of pit lane. That car's a lap down.
Let's see if we can hang with Gus Fring through this on the apron here.
Okay, merge when you can. The leader's pitting now.
What a dangerous... We gotta go up the track. We can't... That would be like... Mick Dundee is just a solid brick of pixels.
Still there.
He would not budge. He would spin us out. So we're just gonna
Still there.
hang out here, wait for him to get around us, and then sneak in behind him.
Still there.
That's the game plan.
Clear inside.
This will be the last time we're driving this green and red Jurassic Park tour car. She's been a good ship. They all have been a good ship.
You're now in the top 20.
Let's let them be. Let's just be careful here. And hopefully we are out ahead of these, you know. We're not racing 30 cars like we were. Hopefully
Car inside.
Gus Fring stays up top,
Clear inside.
doesn't slow down, keeps the momentum, gets around Andy Van Slyke. Let's go. I think we're going too fast for them to, even Andy Van Slyke to catch us. We got Rosie the Riveter up here. But damn it. Come on, Gus Fring, make your move. Good job. Not good enough, though.
Inside. Clear.
We needed to keep that momentum, and we couldn't.
Car outside. Keep low.
And we got that whole pack on us now.
Outside.
There are worse things, I suppose. Well, maybe Rosie's giving them some trouble back there.
The next car's the leader.
I want to stay with Prince Akeem. Or no, I don't. I wanted him to fall behind Mick Dundee and let us run single file.
The next car's the leader.
They're closing.
Back in third. Keep hustling. Back
All
in
those
front.
cars are closing in on us fast now.
Outside. Keep low. The next car's the leader. Still there.
But we're okay. We got a straggler up here. We'll see who that is. Looks like that's Jack Burton maybe behind us with Randy Marsh.
Stay low.
That might be Tobias.
Clear outside. Car outside. Clear outside. Okay, you're in second.
Man, this first half of the race has flown. We're gonna be getting the call out for halfway home soon. And I'm blocking Jack Burton because have we led a lap yet? We're gonna see if we can lead a lap.
Car outside.
I wasn't paying attention earlier. I think we had made our way to the front.
Still there. Clear outside.
Alright, so we got the lead.
You're in first.
And the halfway mark, everybody's cycling through the field right now. Cameron Fry, Velma Dinkley, and Prince get bonus points for the 10th, 20th, and 30th place drivers at the halfway mark. Who is this lame duck on the back of the pack? It might be Michael Jackson. Whatever happened to him, and Amelia Earhart is off of the pack as well.
Stay low. Clear. Car outside.
Not sure where Michael Jackson started this race if he needed a good finish here, but
Clear the cross flag. We're halfway home. Still there. Next car is the leader.
basically if you can get 2 straight top 10s with Talladega involved, you're in good shape.
Here comes the leader.
Meaning any of the cars that finished in the top 10 the previous race,
Still
if
there.
they can get another one here, they're looking good. But this is going to be Michael Jackson. We'll see if he's off the pace. We're going to be hitting him in a weird spot here. But it doesn't seem like he's off the pace. He's just not in a draft.
Still there.
Guessing we're going to try to squeeze under him. He's going to cut. He's going to hit. Oh, boy.
You're on the bottom.
We're in there.
Outside. Next car is the leader. Outside. Keep low. The next car is the leader. Stay low.
Oh, man, that would have been a photo finish between us and Mick Dundee if that was the final lap. All right, with 31 laps to go, we're in the lead. Randy Marsh is the only other top 10 points driver in the top 10. Mona Lisa 13th, Homer Simpson 18th, Super Dave 22nd, BB Cooper 26th, Steve Jobs 27th, Stay Puft 31st, and Lily P36.
This is Fashion Week over in Paris. The latest fashions are on the runway for next spring. But there was a problem out there today. One of the British designers' shows had a difficulty. A model fell down twice. That's her going down once. The young woman wearing that pink skirt and the orange platform shoes never quite recovered after that. There she goes. That had to hurt. That was uncool. That's embarrassing. This is at least the second time.
Well, you all are just really tickled by that, aren't you? You try walking in those shoes.
Hey, first of all, baby, I got enough meat on me that it's all right.
I'm sorry. Come on.
We want to apologize.
Hold on.
Jump back into it. We're hitting up. We're this front pack's closing in on Rosie the Riveter. We got to be careful. Let's be smooth. Be cool. No wrecks here. We got 24 laps to go. Let's get into this bottom groove. Speaking of Rosie, man, I went to commercial and I went and saw that wreck. That is the hardest hit in all of my YouTubes and all the series and seasons we've run. That is one of the hardest hits I've seen. And we're on moderate damage. If that's full damage, her car probably explodes on impact. That was the hardest hit I can remember seeing. I'm not gonna guarantee it's the hardest one we've seen, but I can't think of one that's been harder. But hey, she's a fighter. She's a riveter, man. A warrior. All right, we've lost this pack, but that pack behind us is going to catch us, and we're going to make moves, try to catch them. the field was separated into two different packs, and we only have us, Super Dave, Randy Marsh, and Mona Lisa Vito up in this front pack with Homer Simpson as well. And then that back pack, no, it's actually closing in now. Stay Puffed, DB. The entire field's going to be bunched back up together here soon. And we've definitely lost this group. We need some help. We'll be all right. Oh yeah, especially because they're going 3 wide up here. We should be able to catch them. I'm blocking back there. Blocking Mick Dundee back there. So yeah, it looks like Rosie the Riveter is going to have a say in the outcome of this race.
Car outside.
Just like Martha Stewart did in the first Talladega race. Or Daytona maybe?
Clear.
Martha Stewart was a wounded duck at one of the restrictor plate tracks. We're about 10 laps from pit stops. They may be coming a little bit earlier than that.
Stay low.
And I got no tires.
20 laps to go. Still there. Keep low.
I'm not changing tires. And with 10 laps to go,
Still there.
the AI, 2 cans of fuel,
Stay low.
gets them 28 laps. So that means 1 can is 14, but you only need 10. They're going to be filling up only 10 gallons, which we'll just say is a can of fuel. So we're going to find the fuel here and add, and we're going to be putting in a can of fuel.
We'll give you 1 can of fuel.
Yeah, you gotta make those little calculations just to stay on an even keel with the AI's modified fuel windows here. If you're watching this video, you know that by now,
Keep low.
with how we like to run these races.
Still there.
Forrest Gump out in the lead, but you know, everything changes.
Still there.
Lily, I mean, this was the race to make a big move, and AT&T Lily is back in P36, off of the pack. She needs a caution soon.
Keep low.
Homer Simpson, I mentioned he was been on a tear.
Keep digging.
Here he is.
Stay low.
We all had the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in that backpack, and then the Rosie the Riveter thing. You know, our pack met with Rosie the Riveter and swept that next pack back up to us, which just affords the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man more spots to gain. Tim Taylor had a close run-in with him at Rockingham, and here he is again, getting a big push from, you guessed it, the Marshmallow Man.
Stay high. Stay high.
Getting real close to pit stops now.
Keep high. Clear. Inside. Still there.
Tell you what, have we gotten a speeding penalty this year on pit road? No, I don't think. And other than some early season hiccups and, you know, going down the wrong pit road at Bristol, other than that, we've been pretty strong with pit road entry, speed limits. We had to clear a black flag for pit road entry at Richmond. But that was a foolish penalty to begin with. Alright, they're running 3 wide up there, and they're going to be coming up on a car out of the draft, which I'm guessing is Amelia Earhart. Yeah. But maybe her and Lily got into something somewhere. But I don't think so. I don't like this move. I don't like the three. I don't like the 3 wide situation. Let's stay with this group though. Let's stay in this draft by any means necessary, because they're going to be hitting Amelia Earhart soon, and this pack's going to be all bunched together again. Let's just not lose them. I am in drafting mode right now. Oh God, don't lose them. Oh, we got pitters. We have somebody pitting, and we're going in. We're not getting slowed up by the pitters here. We're not taking on tires. Tires are not the play here. I think it's just fuel. We'll get a look in front of us.
Go, go, go!
Okay, they took on left sides. That's fine. We can compete on our tires. Although we did skid them on the way in there, but we're okay. We'll see what kind of machine. We'll see what kind of horsepower Mr. Rogers has here, because we're going to be.
Okay, you're clear of pit lane.
We're going to be riding him if we can catch up to him.
Okay, merge when you can.
There's poor Lily. Wish I could reach out and give her a hug. All right, Mr. Rogers, just throw us a rope here, man. You're kind of out of control right now. We need to catch up with you. I'm trying to follow his line like a something. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Give us something. Feels like we are closing in on him, though. I mean, we absolutely are. All right, here comes the rest of the field.
The leader's pitting now.
Boy, I tell you what, something happened with the pack. Because they are all. There's not going to be a lot of cars in this front lead pack. Who made it? Randy Marsh made it. Mona Lisa Vito made it. Big points players. We'll try to find out where Stay Puffed is. Looks like there's 2 white cars coming up. One is going to be Jack Burton. We've been seeing him all race long. And the other one looks like it's going to be Super Dave, who I'm guessing has not pitted yet. Or I'm guessing has pitted. Sorry. And we got more cars coming out of pit road. Was that Stay Puffed? I think that was Stay Puffed. He is going to be back in the field. All right, take her easy there, Mr. Rogers. Let's not be wild. We're looking for some other big names here. By this time next lap, we should have a firm idea on what the standings look like and where cars are at. Neil Armstrong is going to be in the conversation for the win here. We're going to latch on to Wayne Campbell. Mick Dundee, he's been in our rear view all race long, it feels like. Or he's been in front of us. Mr. Rogers, I think he just bumped Amelia Earhart out of the way. You're a lap down, lady. Get out of my face. That's basically what Mr. Rogers just said. He's very soft-spoken, but on the track he's just all business. We've got 11 laps to go. I still haven't looked to see the standings, to see where everyone's at. Velma Dinkley in the lead. She's trying to get her first top 5 of the season. And we'll try to get a good idea of the intervals here coming up. Mr. Rogers is scared of, looks like that's Michael Jackson on the apron, who sadly is off the pack this race. It's really going to hurt his championship dreams, I think. Oh yeah, we only got 11 cars in this lead pack. The lead pack's ahead of the next pack by 3 seconds. And we got Super Dave Osborne is the only big hitter in this pack with us. But oh man, Stay Puft. Stay Puft is back in P33 in like the 3rd pack of cars basically. But we're hitting, looks like we're going to be hitting Rosie the Riveter here. We just got to hope for a clean is that Rosie? No, that's Lily. Which means Rosie the Riveter is still in the cut somewhere, waiting to have an impact on this race. She already has had an impact, but she's going to have a large say in who wins this thing. So yeah, Lily and Amelia aren't wounded ducks. They were just off the pack. Tobias Fuke up there going for the lead. Trying to match Mona Lisa Vito for 3 wins this season, the most. Pretty wild also that Stay Puft has been leading the points and has not won a race. Super Dave Osborne is hungry for a win. In our rear view there. Wayne Campbell, Neil Armstrong they don't have a win. Oh yeah, it's definitely an 11 car battle now. We only have 11 cars separated by 8/10, and then the next car back after that is 5 seconds back. And that's Mona Lisa Vito, so she's doing what she can to pick up you know, she's leading that pack. She's picking up as many spots as she can. Randy Marsh is in there too. Homer Simpson dropped back to 31st. I thought he was going to be higher after the stops, but something happened. That's not good for Homer, man. I mean, he's not that far back from Stay Puft in the points, and he's actually running with Stay Puft right now. But it's going to be a moving target from now on. Stay Puft's not even going to be the big villain, I think, after this race if he stays back there. And actually, we might be. If we can maybe even get a win here, we might be in the points lead going to Kansas, but we will be starting at the back of Kansas. But let's not count the chickens yet. We've still got 6 laps to go. We got a bunch of cars here hungry for their first win. including Velma Dinkley, who did legitimately just say, "Get out of the way." Didn't give me a nudge, but she was at the point of AI no return. She was not going to get spooked out of that line. All right, Happy Gilmore is pushing Mr. Rogers 3 wide. Let's go up the track. I'm learning my lessons because I saw what happened in the Rosie the Riveter Rosa Parks wreck. We definitely had an effect on that. I think Rosie the Riveter got spooked and ran a weird line, and Rosa Parks said, "I'm running my line, Jack." And they wrecked. But I don't see Rosie. I thought Rosie was going to be... Okay, she's done. Rosie is off of the track somewhere. Maybe NASCAR just parked her. She's probably in the infield care center, putting her arms back on her body. Yeah, unfortunately, we did get pushed to the back of this pack with the Rosie the Riveter or with the Velma Dinkley pass, but we're fine. We're totally fine. Mr. Rogers, man, Mr. Rogers, he has that look in his eye. I saw him in my rear view one time. He has just this look. This might be his race. Let's not lose these guys. We're going to be coming up on 3 to go. Oh, geez, Louise. Mick Dundee and Super Dave. That was almost a 4-wide situation. Velma Dinkley might have actually pulled out of that to make sure it stayed 3 wide, or it didn't go 4 wide. Let's not lose these guys. Alright, so the Rosie the Riveter variable is out of the equation. We're not going to be hitting her, so this is just going to be a dogfight to the end. But it just seems like Velma just put on nitrous and took off. I was banking on maybe drafting with her some. There we go. They ran 3 wide. Somebody had to check up. We're actually in a pretty good spot. You don't want to be... We aren't able to hold the lead against them in the final lap, but if we make a last-minute charge, we can maybe steal a win. Like I said, a lot of hungry drivers up here. They're not just going to give it to us. AT&T Lily in the 88 and Amelia Earhart in the 3 are a lap down. They are not in contention for the win. Damn it. Stay Puft moved up to P26. Looks like he can gain, at least finish P24. At most, P24. We're coming up on 1 to go. I don't think... We don't have enough time here. We don't have enough time here. And we got a big picture to worry about. We don't have to win this thing. Just not wreck. Get our points and go home. Super Dave. Super Dave leading the train up there. And is that Velma Dinkley? She found her way back up there. Is she going to make a move? Yes, she is. Unbelievable. I don't know if Super Dave can hold her off. Amelia Earhart's going to give him a push, but I think we're going to push Velma to the win. That top line isn't going to give Super Dave enough. But Super Dave's getting a big finish, man. Mr. Rogers just didn't have it. We're going to get top 6 here, I think. It's not even a thing, a top 6, but we're getting a top 6. Oh. Man, I was gripping that wheel. hey, we got it done. We didn't win. We got a top 10. That's what we wanted. But check out Velma Dinkley winning this race, leading the most laps. If you can read the leaders, I had to scrunch them all in there. 26 liters, 40 lead changes there. But she won them. She led the most laps, won the race, and got a bonus point. She got 51 points in our point system here, the maximum you can get. Pretty incredible. I saw in the when I was going through the replay, some cars took on 2 tires on that last stop, some didn't, like we didn't. So that was interesting. They each had a different little strategy. But you see, Super Dave Osborne is the only. Oh, Neil Armstrong too. God, dang it! Don't forget about Neil Armstrong. Because I took a peek at the points. I haven't calculated them yet. We'll look at them at the beginning of the next race. But Neil Armstrong, look out! Started 2 straight top 10s here for him, and he doesn't even have dashes on his name here, but he will next race. Moving to the second page, nothing to talk about except pointing out Mona Lisa Vito up there in the points race. She was kind of with us or ahead of us in the points race, but we may be overtaking her here now. Moving to the third page, we find a lot of our heavy hitters: Randy Marsh, Marshmello, DB Cooper, and Steve Jobs here. All I think I had established that they were running 21 through 30 during the race there, and they just couldn't. You see the gap between P22 and P23. They weren't going to be able to gain. Marshmallow Man wasn't going to be able to gain any more spots than P23 there. And then moving to the back page, poor Homer Simpson. He's been making moves recently in the top 10 in points. This may hurt him a lot, but he will be starting at the front at Kansas, so we'll see what happens there. And then poor Lily, we may have to stop putting dashes on her name. Looking at the replay, I didn't show it, but Amelia Earhart and Lily both got held up by Rosie the Riveter somewhere and got in trouble, or something. One of them, and something happened to the other. Amelia Earhart just lost the pack after pit stops, and Lily got held up by Rosie the Riveter. Michael Jackson actually ran out of fuel before the first pit stops, and that's why he dropped. And of course, we had Rosie the Riveter with that. That might go down in the history books as the hardest hit, one of the hardest hits we'll see. And then Andy Warhol, it was a DNS. He didn't even start the race. I'm not sure what happened with him, but he's probably done in the points now. But again, we'll see how the points shake out. He started here in the back. It's not like he started first and he's had 2 bad finishes in a row, which you can't have. He was good at Rockingham, bad here, and he's got to get back on the horse at Kansas. Speaking of Kansas, 4 races to go now in our season: Kansas, Texas, North Wilkesboro, and Atlanta. We'll be starting at the back at Kansas, hopefully at the front at Texas, back of North Wilkesboro, and then at the front at Atlanta when we may need as many points as we can get. So it's shaping up. It's looking good right now. But let's not count our chickens. Thanks for watching.